And welcome to Unplugged. And we had a fantastic discussion on the loop, but this is now Unplugged, where we give you an opportunity to experience the best that we have in terms of creativity and creatives in the 254. Today, we have a special guest. She's called Maya Amolo. Maya, welcome to Unplugged.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you for coming.
I'm really excited.
Yes, how have you been?
I've been okay.
Okay, so on the loop today, we're talking about how people, are stretching their shilling during COVID-19.
Yeah.
You look like you're doing fine. Like, this thing is not really affecting you.
I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best.
All right.
I mean, there's not much I guess it's easy for me to not spend as much as I would previously because you're not leaving the house. You want to stay safe. You want to stay at home. So you're not going out, spending money on food and stuff like that. Yeah, just doing what I can.
You're doing what you can.
Yeah.
Keep the expenses low.
Yes.
All right, so let's talk about who Maya Amolo is. So you studied in New York, right? Mm-hmm. You said, what were you studying? So
I'm still studying in New York. I had initially gone there with the plans of studying music, but then you have to do a lot of foundation stuff, a lot of Western music theory. So I switched to other stuff that I love, which is anthropology, history, a lot of social sciences, a lot of humanities, and then I do music on the side so that it's more of a thing for a passion. I don't kill the love for music by learning about it.
Is that a tough balance? Because I can imagine now, you've got all this schoolwork going on and everything. What year are you in, first of all? I'm in my senior year, I'm almost done. Yeah. So this must be a really difficult balancing act for you to keep your passion alive, but to also balance it and say, this is the thing that took me there, and I'm not going to quit and go and join Bad Boy.
I mean, being in New York, as much as it was difficult initially, it's so inspiring. So I have school, but then when I leave and go to the city, you're in Manhattan and it's so different and the scene there is different, and then Brooklyn is also really vibrant. So there's always something to be inspired by. So I never feel like I'm bored and I want to stop and I want to just stick to history. It's always something. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So at what point did you decide that, music was a passion for you? This is something that I really want to pursue. Was it when you went to New York and decided, okay, fine, there's lots of opportunity here for me to diversify? Or was it even before you left the country?
It was way before. So I've always been surrounded by music. The household was kind of different because there were always records and pianos, and my parents and grandparents loved music so much, so I was encouraged to take piano and stuff. So I've always been surrounded by music. It's always been something that I loved. But I only realized a bit later that I'm also interested in writing music. That was maybe 2015, so I started writing my songs and putting them on SoundCloud. And people were responding and interacting. Right. So I was this is nice that I can express myself and be able to reach out to people in this way. Yeah.
All right, I'm going to give you a challenge.
Okay.
no, just I want you sing me something that you've done, not your latest work, because I know you've got a lot of music on SoundCloud.
Yeah.
And you call it sad girl.
Sad girl music.
Sad girl. So what is sad girl music? Because when I saw that, I think that was the first time I heard of something like that. I was like, what is sad girl? Is it depressing music? What is sad girl music?
I mean, everyone is I feel music, when you're in your feelings, it's easiest to reach out to people that way. So most of the stuff I'd write about would mainly be in transitional phases where you're experiencing so much and you're not sure what's happening. So I'd write about my feelings a lot. And in the time, it was just that I happened to be sad. So it was sad girl tunes.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Sing me a sad girl tune. Just something not too long.
Okay.
But something that just gives us an idea of what that is.
Okay. Should I talk about the song first, or should I just break into?
No, how do you always do it? What?
Okay. You keep on trying to find me hope, it's easing your mind, but beware what lies behind it, take it slow. Do you really want to know? And I wrote that about not being heard.
Okay.
So I was really frustrated that people weren't really listening to me and what I had to say. And then finally, when I got the audience, I'm like, oh, now you want to know. So that song is called You Wanna. So it's I've been really frustrated trying to reach out to you, and then now you're listening to me, and now you want to know. And it's just I'm not having it. So that's what that one was.
Okay. And, okay, so At the time that you had started putting out music onto SoundCloud, how did that process come about? Like, who were you working with at the time?
At the time, it was just me. So I would have.
So why were you recording the music? Because there's all considerations about studio time and finding the musicians.
I didn't have any of that. I would like find beats that I liked online, and there's like a lot of producers like on YouTube that just have like free beats. So it's like free Frank Ocean type beat, free Beyonce type beat. So I'd find the ones that I like, and then I'd just be there with like my headphones with the microphone and just recording. So like. The first ones are super lo-fi, like not very good quality, because it'd just be me in my room, like in high school, me in my room. My friend, one of my best friends, Mao, who also does music, like gave me a mic, and some of my later ones I recorded on the mic. But then it would just be like whatever I had at the time before I finally got the chance to like get into studio.
And I like that you started where you are with what you have.
Yeah.
And so a lot of people are thinking like, if I'm good at singing and I want to start something, I must have all these things in place.
Yeah. We've always had to just had to make do with what we had. So even before I was doing the thing on GarageBand, I would just have like the instrumental playing in the background and just sing directly into the camera, and that would be, that would be what it was. Because I mean, you don't just start and like have all the facilities you need. And I was like, it's still good, and it's still like a journey, and like you're still going forward, doing what you do with what you have.
When I listen to you singing, you know what comes to mind?
What?
I remember some of the 90s greats. Now that's going to give away my age. But I remember something. I think of Brandy, I think of Erykah Badu.
Thank you.
So that's what I hear when I hear your songs.
Oh, that's
Are those
so
some
nice.
of your, the people who influenced you in your musical journey?
Definitely. Like when I was watching Brandy versus Monica on like the verses, I was like, I love them. Erykah Badu as well, Jill Scott, like a lot of the 90s people.
So do you feel that that's the kind of style that you write in?
I feel like, I'm inspired most by them. So I do think that my sound is very R&B-ish, but kind of alternative.
Alternative R&B.
Alternative R&B,
yeah.
yes.
That's not a very common genre for Kenya. Where do you find your music is more accepted?
I have no idea. I mean, I really did hope that people would listen to my music, but the reception it got was wild. Because
Karun loved you. Karun loves your music. From Camp Mula.
Yeah, I think all of us like doing that kind of thing, Karun and Xenia and like these, kind of new R&B girls in the Kenyan scene.
Yeah.
I think it's because we're not trying to do something. When I first got into the scene, it's like you have to make this kind of music. But I feel like people will be drawn to you if you do what's true to you. So I think that's why, because it just felt honest. Like you're singing about something and it feels honest, and people are drawn to that regardless of what you're singing about.
Yeah.
Which is why you can have like some of my favorite artists who are like Swedish, and I have no idea what they're saying, but there's something about their music that feels authentic, and you want to like listen to that and you want to connect with that. Yeah.
Okay, so we're here to talk about your new EP.
Yes.
Which is a very interesting name. Tell us the name of the EP, and then we'll get into why you called it what you called it.
Okay, the name of the EP is Leave Me at the Pregame.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, so in Kenyan culture, the pregame is where you go to warm up before you go clubbing, right? That place or that thing that you do to get yourself ready to go out and club.
Yeah.
And you were in New York when you wrote the songs on your EP, feeling that, really homesick. And, the nightlife there is completely different from the nightlife here. The pre-gaming life here is, I guess, totally miles, apart from what's there in New York. So, are you the pre-game queen? Or what is it about the pre-game that tells you, okay, fine, that this is the name of my album, or my EP, sorry.
Well, I wrote the songs, like, in writing the songs, there's a lot that I could process, and it was like a safe space. So when I'm back home, I love going to the club because it's familiar. There's, you probably know most of the people that are there, like where you're going. So you don't feel like you're a fish out of water when you get to the club. But then when I was in New York, the only time that I felt like safe was at the pregame, because it's like I know all my friends that are here, and that's like the safe space. So in the same way the pregame is a safe space, the EP was a safe space. So I was just like, leave me there, let me process my thoughts, and then maybe later we can go to
okay,
the club.
So what are the songs that has the first visuals from the EP is Lush Green?
Yes.
And it's a beautiful, beautiful video. And I was watching, I was like, oh my God, this thing was shot amazing. The song is brilliant.
Thank you so much.
Let's listen to the song.
Okay.
I think we have the video here. So let's watch this Lush Green of the EP, which is Let's Meet at the Pregame.
Leave Me at the Pregame.
Leave Me at the Pregame, right. Leave Me at the Pregame. This is the first visuals of that EP by Maya Amolo, and the song is Lush Green.
Lush green, I see you, I've seen through blank screens. We're about to end, it's closing in. I've been silencing the thoughts I see, the damage that it's causing, and all of the applause and the waves and waves of nausea. Lush green, I see you, I see you. Keep saying how I'm home soon, keep saying how the weather out here's so rude, but it's the only thing keeping me icy. I scream, I see the end. It all depends on these words, verses and verses. It feels like these curses. What's worse, my tear duct's about to burst. I know it's temporary, but the thought of failing scares me. I stay still, inactive, just to kill time, till I shine through. And I believe in you, believe in you. Lush green, I see you, I've seen through blank screens. We're about to end, it's closing in. Lush green, oh, I see you, I've seen through blank screens. But we're about to end, it's closing in.
And there you go, Lush Green of the EP Leave Me at the Pregame by Maya Amolo, who is here with us on Unplugged this evening. Remember, you can ask Maya anything that you want to ask about her musical journey on our segment Ask Me Anything. So remember, you can use hashtag TheLoopK24. And of course, our WhatsApp number is still on the line, so you can let us know what you think about some of, the amazing sound that you're hearing. Maya, that's a brilliant, brilliant, brilliant tune.
Thank you.
Your mom directed it.
My mom directed it. She's such a brilliant artist. Like, she does photography, creative direction, like film, everything.
Yeah.
And when I sent her the song, so I recorded it during the winter at my best friend Mao's house. He produced it as well.
Okay.
And I recorded it at his house.
This is in New York.
This is in New York, yeah. So it's the winter, all the leaves have fallen off the trees, the sun is setting at like 4 o'clock. And I'm in his apartment and I'm recording the song, and I send it to my mom back home. And I'm like, wrote this, missing home. And she just like saw the visuals for it because, I'm writing about home, about my garden, about greens and support. So yeah, I was just like, put the song in her hands and she directed everything. Hey, tricky.
Mom, I know you're in studio, so.
Nothing for free, nothing for free.
Nothing for free.
Nothing for free.
So your EP has got 7 songs. And I'm just wondering, why did some of the songs that you had done earlier, the ones that you put on SoundCloud, why didn't they make it onto the EP?
Most of the songs on the EP I wrote like around the same time when I was in like that headspace of missing home. So it's like I didn't have the same problems that I had like in the songs that I was writing about that made it on SoundCloud. So these were just brand new. Also because like now I got the chance to, after people had heard my SoundCloud stuff, I got the access to like a mic in the studio and I could record them at better quality and you can upload them to like more platforms. So I decided to just have those 7 songs.
Yeah. Okay. And so what's been, have you recorded anything in Kenya?
Yes.
Okay. What was your experience like here? Because I know it's vicious out here.
I mean, I was lucky enough to have people that are willing to listen to me because I come on board with like a lot of ideas and like a lot of like, you know, melodies, harmonies, arrangements. And the people that I got the chance to work with were really open to hearing me out and letting me, you know, put forth my ideas and record whatever I wanted to and build like from what I wanted to do. Yeah, I'm just lucky, honestly, because
And I think that the fact that you know your mom is very involved in the work that you're doing also, and in her being in the industry as well, sort of guides you, you know, like here's something you should avoid.
Definitely.
All right. So all the songs in your project, you know, have helped you get through something or the other.
Yes.
All right. And so for you, this is a very personal EP. It's a very personal project. Tell us about some of the other songs on the EP.
So,
So for example,
yes.
There's an interesting song, I think it was called Puddles.
Puddles,
and
yes.
you're talking about how this song has helped you through bad habits.
Yes.
Okay, tell us about that.
So in the song, I talk about how it's all, like I keep saying going back to playing in puddles, going back to playing in puddles, and then it gets too deep. So it's like you start off something, you're like, oh, this will probably be fine, and then you're in the deep end, and you're like, you knew this would happen. So I'm talking about that, and then I'm like expanding on the problem. Like it's like you do this, and it's not okay, and I keep going through this, and then I go back to playing in puddles. So it's about those bad habits, and it's just like keep going back to playing in puddles. Puddles also because it's like I'm reflecting on it, you know.
Okay.
Seeing your reflection in the puddle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. And then there's I Know. Yeah.
Yes.
And here you're talking about, you know, coming through a very difficult relationship.
Yeah.
Was it hard, particularly writing a song like that? Because, you know, when you're going through something so deeply personal, and maybe you haven't even talked about it to the people who are the closest in your circle. But here you are making a song about it for the world to consume and get to know you through your work. Was that a difficult thing to write?
No, in fact, I find it easier to express and process through writing a song than speaking about it to someone. I feel that once I get it out that way, then it's easier to talk about it. You know, it's like I know what's going on. Because sometimes there's things that I'll write in my songs that I'll learn about myself only after I've written them. It's so strange. So it wasn't really difficult, like writing about it. It made it easier.
And so when you listen back, you're like, okay, all right. So you learn through your own music as well.
It's like I'm my own therapist.
Oh, that's really interesting. Okay, we've got some feedback. Remember, ask Maya Amolo anything that you want to ask her, and here on Unplugged, we'll definitely shoot the questions to her. So let's see. Okay, let's see. Oh, here we go. I'm loving the show. And Maya, you do have a very inspirational, ambitious journey. Your music is an obsession to my soul. Go, girl. That's Nish Wanja.
Thank you, Nish.
Mixing is mbaya sana. And he's watching from Kerio Valley. Shout out to everybody at Kerio Valley saying, leave me at the pregame by Maya Amolo imeweza mbaya sana.
Hey.
Yeah, see, people show you so much love. Look at that. I'm totally in love and baffled by the unique tune of Maya Amolo. She's bringing out the appreciation of the dark skin. Black is beautiful, and she sends a message. We should own it and appreciate it, not being flippant about it. Big love to her from Eric Perez.
Shout out to you, Eric.
Maya is super talented. I love her music. Breath of fresh air to the Kenyan music scene.
Oh, thank you, guys.
I mean, look at that. Very talented young lady. Wow.
Oh.
I always try to save and then, okay, so this was from before. So what's the big difference between New York music and the scene in Kenya? I think that's a really good question.
Oh, that's a big question.
Yeah. Because I guess the New York, the scene in the States generally and out in the West is very developed. Yeah. And it looks like Kenya, you know, we're just slowly catching up to what that is. So What are you finding is the difference?
I think the only difference is, well, the biggest difference for me is that in New York, they're more open to like a really big variety, really wide variety of music. So you can't even like say the scene is like this, because in different parts, like let's take like for example like rap music, for example, like in Brooklyn it's different, in Queens it's different, in the Bronx it's different. So I think the only difference is that here people are yet to discover. I don't think it's not there. There's like a lot of like really talented, like alternative, really different musicians. It's just that we haven't fully uncovered like the whole scene. I think that's the only difference.
All right.
Yeah.
I mean, at 21 years old, you're very comfortable in your skin. You're very comfortable in your ability and in your talent. What would you say to somebody who's watching you right now and thinking, I want to go into this industry, but I'm not sure if it's the thing for me, and I'm not sure how I should navigate around it? What would you say to somebody who's listening to, a young girl somewhere saying, I know I can sing, and Maya is giving me the psych?
I think your friends are very important. Like, keep your friends close. They're always going to be there. Like they're going to be there to support you. Keep them close. And I mean, it's a very cliche thing, but like, stay true to your sound, to what you want to do, because someone is going to come and be like, people like this sound, you should do this sound, but it's like, that sound exists, why would they listen to me when it's already there? Whereas like, I can, provide something that's unique. So I'd say, stay true to like your sound, believe in yourself, stay true to yourself. And be very deliberate and very about
and I think also having that support system around you as well.
Support
especially
is so
when things
important.
are not going right.
Yeah.
All right. So that's been Maya Amolo here to talk about her EP with 7 songs, which has come out, and you can get that. Where can we get that?
You can get it on YouTube, on Apple Music, on Spotify, on SoundCloud, on everything. Yes.
And the song that EP went to #1 on the Kenyan Apple Music.
It did. R&B,
yeah.
So grateful.
So it's a really great EP, and I'd encourage you to go and get that. And so as we come to the end of Unplugged, I want to say thank you so much to Maya. Your journey is amazing, and we're all eyes on you.
Thank you
right
so much
now.
for
We know you're going to
having
do so
me.
much. So I think let's end with Lush Green from Leave Me at the Pre-Game by Maya Amolo. And you can sing along to the video so that let's hear it. You're here anyway.
This is true.
Lush green, I see you, I've seen through blank screens. We're about to end, it's closing in. I've been silencing the thoughts I see, the damage that it's causing, and all of the applause and the waves and waves of nausea. Lush green, I see you, I see you. Keep saying I'm home soon, keep saying how the weather out here's so rude, but it's the only thing keeping me icy. I scream, I see the end, it all depends.